This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network.
Hello, you're listening to Agony Rants. I'm Niamh Kavanagh.
And I'm Gearóid Farrelly.
And Gearóid, what is Agony Rants to you?
Think of Agony Rants as your place to vent, and it's a place to get advice that is uncertified, unprofessional, but probably what you want to hear.
Oh, yeah, well, everybody's favourite advice.
Exactly, yeah. Let us do your dirty work for you.
Okay, yeah, so from your mammy, the Irish mammy, which would be me, and National Treasure, obviously, and
your gay best friend.
yeah, everything you ever needed in a box there.
All of the support that anybody could want, wrapped up with a big bow on it.
Yeah, and what's worse, then we'll tell our own stories, which could go on for an interminable amount of time.
Yeah, and as somebody that edits this show, you're getting a real short version.
This is like the long lunch. We usually do the long lunch.
Day 3 working on this episode.
Today's topic is things I never thought I'd do. It's kind of, a sensible one because quite frankly, how many times in your career or in your life have you done things and said, I never thought I'd do this?
Yeah. It comes up a bit, like I think this year for everybody as well has been,
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be in a pandemic.
Yeah. No, I never thought I would be wearing a mask for long periods of time and being grateful for the fact that I don't actually have to attend to my mustache or worry about if I've got makeup. I've saved a lot of money from the makeup I don't have to wear beyond. The unfortunate thing is that you forget that you do take the mask off sometimes in between. So I actually have found this year that I don't have to wear makeup anymore. I literally wear mascara. That's it. Because nobody sees anything.
I'm surprised that I'm actually obeying rules.
Oh, really? I am
Yeah.
surprised you are too. Are you?
Well, people tell me to do things, and I'm like, okay, right, well, I will queue, yeah. Okay, fine.
I know. Do you ever feel like, it's like when I had my kids, I felt that I would let the janitor look at any bit of me because when you're in hospital, you kind of think you'll let them do anything when you're in that frame of mind. You just become so used to people looking at bits of you. I just think at this point we're so conditioned to just say, well, we must have to do that. Because
Yeah, well,
obviously-
we'll just do it, fine. Yeah,
I
that's
know.
grand. We'll stay in.
If
Okay.
somebody said to you like a couple of years ago, you will have to wear a mask every time you say it, and you're not allowed to hug anybody or touch anybody, you're not allowed to do anything,
I miss the hugs. I do miss the hugs, I have to say. Now, the bit that I don't mind was the 5 kilometres.
Oh, not going outside the
Yeah,
five.
not gonna, like the 5 kilometre rule. People were really upset they couldn't go visit anyone. I was just like, I'm grand. I can live my life now in a 5 kilometre zone. I'm good. I did have my time where I was like, I'm a solitary creature and I'm grand with this.
Oh no! Actually, do you know? I found it very refreshing originally because we do a lot of mileage between us. My poor car went from doing 30 to 40,000 miles a year to nothing. Like literally up and down. I use the one tank of diesel to go to work for I'd say about 2 months.
I actually, when I was doing my taxes last year, I realised I spent the same amount of diesel last year that I would spend in a month. Just one average month.
I don't know which bit is more outrageous, the fact that you do taxes. No, of course you do. You're a good...
I'm a good boy.
You're a good boy.
A good boy.
I mean, you try to be cool, but the truth is you are very good.
Yeah, I'm very compliant. I do exactly what I'm told. But that's not my big... This is the thing I thought I'd never do.
Okay, go
was
on.
taxes.
Okay.
Even though I swear to God, every single year I'm just like, I'm going to just do this month by month.
Oh yeah, but we never do.
No. You're pulling out like a shoebox 3 days before it's due in. Now, somebody help me.
Jesus.
Admin is not our strong point.
No. Well,
That's
we
what
do
we're
it.
saying.
We do it. We're good,
Yeah.
good God-fearing people.
Oh
but-
God, yeah.
Or at least government party.
Yeah.
Tell me, what is the thing that you thought you'd never
Okay,
do?
the thing that I thought I would never do is I did a zip line. Now, I know you look incredibly unimpressed.
A zip line.
A zip line.
Is
You
that
know
like
the
a
thing
high
that
up
they-
thing where you go over
Yeah.
the forest?
Basically, it's like that forest walk thing where you're up the top of the trees.
Where the
and
Jays did you do that?
it was somewhere out in Temple Oak or somewhere like that.
Oh really? I didn't
Yeah.
know there was a lot of forests out there. But anyway.
Or
Whereabouts in
somewhere the
Temple
Wicklow, Dublin Mountains, maybe.
Yeah, that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
But the thing about it is, I got a present of a voucher
Okay.
to do this, right?
People
And
people think
I
they want to
just
expand
can't
your
bear it
life.
when
Don't
people
they?
do this. I mean,
Sorry.
Amazon wish lists. If you're not buying something off somebody's Amazon wish list, you need to have a long hard look at what you're buying them, because a zip line That's not a present.
Yeah,
And it was one of my best friends got me this, who knows that I am actually terrified of heights.
Okay, so yeah, and this is a best friend.
One of my best friends.
Okay, you're
And
as perverse with your best friends as I am.
basically, what he did was he got 4 tickets for us to go to do this thing, right? And they strap you in. Like, so you're strapped into this thing and you're on a winch.
Okay,
and
I've
then you've
done
got
it.
to go around and do this obstacle course. But as you do the obstacle course, it gets higher and higher and higher up in the trees, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing about it is, you do a practice course, which they let children on. And I was in a very bad way on the practice course. I was about like 10 feet off the ground and I was taking it really, really badly. But I decided that I wasn't going to like show fear, so that I would actually do it. I would go and do the thing. So I got maybe to like the second stage and there was 10 stages.
Oh,
And
God, help
about
us.
halfway through the second stage, I decided I'm actually not going any further.
Yeah, but
But you can't go back
I was just going to say you
because there's
can't.
people coming behind you.
You can't just give
No.
up.
And then behind me, there was this little prick in a Pokemon tracksuit who started like to shake my cable. And I was just like, I'm going to kill this kid. But so what I did was I decided I just held onto the tree trunk. Like, I was just like, I couldn't let it go. I was just like, I can't go any further. I just held on. So what happened was, the supervisor,
Oh,
like, came up on a winch to talk me down.
oh dear.
It's one of the darkest moments. But he really played the wrong tack with me, right? Because
Okay.
I said, okay, you need to just help me down. Like, just detach me from this thing and just
I'm
let
so
me down.
over this.
And he was like, no, I can't do that. Because if we are taking you off the winch, we have to strap you into like a stretcher. And then you have to be lowered down. And he was like, it's going to be so embarrassing with all these kids. And I was just like, listen, you have no idea my capacity for humiliation. I have no problem. You get
I'm
that.
actually-
I don't care if you've to airlift me onto the Garda helicopter. I want off this island. But he wouldn't do it. And he ended up literally like having to like carry me
Through all the 10
through
stages.
all 10 stages. The last one, there was an opt-out because it was basically a throw yourself off a tree
Okay,
and trust that it would.
was he at least cute? No?
He was very handsome.
Yeah.
Very handsome. But I will say this, the lycra outfit that he was in stank.
Okay, a little bit lived in.
Yeah, a little bit lived in.
A little bit lived in.
Yeah, I
Bless
was like,
him.
you want to put that in a hot wash now.
Yeah, I know. Not stuff. Yeah.
That's my thing I thought I'd never do. And I will never do it again. And also, do you know what the hurtful thing about the whole thing was? That the people that were with me, that were allegedly my friends, just took a video of it.
Of course they did.
Of course they did.
So I'm not great with heights either, to be fair. I discovered that way back in the day when I climbed, when you could still climb the ziggurat at Chichen Itza in Mexico. That sounds very urban and interesting.
Very
urban and
fancy,
interesting.
Niamh, the life you've lived.
Oh my God. I went to Cancun on holidays for 2 weeks and we took a day out, and we went on a bus to Chichen Itza and we climbed this pyramid, and I got to the top and realised I had to come down on my arse basically and not look because I was so freaked out. I thought I was going to fall down. But then you see, I'm doing a team building things with kids when we were doing a singer-songwriter kind of teamwork thing many years later, and clearly my memory of that is forgotten because we were having a really fantastic week and I'm teaching them singing and we're showing them how you can improve phrasing and all this. I feel very in control of the situation and all that, and these teenagers are doing this. Out the back at this centre is this team building thing where you climb telegraph poles, basically.
Oh my
Climb
God.
telegraph poles, and 4 of you climb one of them right up to the top, and then you stand on this square which is not big enough for one person to stand on, and you all lean back and hold, and then you
No.
and then there's another one where you just literally, like you say, go around this whole obstacle course of doom the whole way around. And I got to the last one, and the last one is where you kind of stand on the top of the telegraph pole, and the whole way up my head is going, no, we're not doing this, but my body just keeps going. But I got to the top of the last telegraph pole, which is where you jump. This is probably what you're talking about, the last thing.
Okay,
where
yeah.
you jump to a trapeze or something. It's called a leap of faith, right? And that is not what I called it in my head. Right? This is who the hell thought this was something you had to
No.
prove? I was 40 years of age. What the hell am I doing this for?
No.
Because I just can't not take a dare. So I'm standing on the top I'm standing at the top of this telegraph pole going, I'm going to leap for that trapeze any second now. And my brain was leaping, but my knees were having none of it.
No.
So I was in the brace position for quite a long time. And all the teenagers going, go on, Niamh. And I'm going, oh my God, who is this for? And I did leap. And
Did you? I see. I have no problem walking away from stuff like that.
yeah. And the other thing.
You rise to challenges.
I can't
that's
help
the
myself.
one thing I've always said. That's her big Achilles heel.
I know it is. It is.
There's an awful lot to be said for falling at the first hurdle.
Honestly. So things I never thought I'd do. It doesn't have to be things that scare you, to be fair. It can be stupid things. Like I never thought I'd get back on a bike in my late 40s. I did that. I put it down as I do 3 things that scare me every year. So some usually work.
You see, I actually find this really interesting because you do 3 things that scare you every
Yeah.
year. Now, that is my idea of a nightmare.
No, you see, it sounds a bit odd, right? I started when I had small kids and I realised I was less brave, shall we say, than I used to be. So I decided to do things that push me out of my comfort zone. So I picked 3 things in a year. Now, sometimes I have them kind of planned in my head before and they can be stupid things. I mean, really stupid. Generally, something work-wise comes up. So something like the year I did Celebrity MasterChef, that definitely was out of my comfort zone. Anything that kind of just pops up, a gig that you wouldn't normally do, something a bit different, right?
Okay.
So I nearly find something in work. Obviously last year, not so much.
Yeah,
but
quiet year.
But I did have other challenges, let's be honest. I didn't think I'd ever end up in
100%
Tesco. Or,
in your aisles.
Yeah, in your aisles. But all of those things. But you know what I mean? I didn't think I'd have those challenges. So I did definitely do a lot of things that pushed me out of my comfort zone last year. But actually, 3 things that push you slightly out of your comfort zone make you a little bit more exciting in the end. So it starts off with small things. And like, for instance, I got back on a push bike. I haven't been on a push bike since I was a teenager. And even then it was very reluctantly, I'm just a bit, again, I just didn't feel as control in it.
Yeah.
I didn't wear the Lycra or anything. I didn't get that far, right? But, but you know what I'm talking about. I just got back on a bike, and I think if you haven't been on a bike for 30 years and suddenly get on one, it's quite a different challenge. You know what I mean? It's a different challenge.
Well, so ours.
Yeah, so... Yeah, there was definitely. That wasn't what I was going to discuss, but now that you bring it up, no. But I achieved it. I did it over a period of time. It didn't engender a huge amount of, I want to do this for the rest of my life. But I did do it and I enjoyed it and it pushed me out of mistakes. So when somebody comes with a new activity, I'll give it a go. I like things that push me out because it just makes me less inclined to feel like I'm an old person going into the chair, right? That's it. And also in the early stages with having the kids, it meant that I was inclined to do more and it made me more adventurous even in my work, because then I just felt, I fancy doing that. Doesn't matter if I'll just do it. Sometimes I see things in things that I'm doing and I go, well, I never thought this was going to happen. Like, way back in 91 after the commitments, I was in Los Angeles for 3 days, and we did this concert it was honouring Bette Midler. And I never thought I'd say that in a sentence, right? But anyway.
Wow.
I know. And I was in the green room trying to act like this sort of thing happened to me every day. And Robin Williams is over there. And then I met Estelle Getty, right?
Sophia Petrillo.
From the Golden Girls, right? I met a lot of very, very famous people, but I actually got to speak to her in a very positive way. And, you kind of stand there acting like this sort of thing happens to you every day, but it really doesn't, And then the girl who was actually assigned to look after us, now there's only a certain age group that's going to get this, right? I was chatting to her and she says, I used to be an actress, actually. I used to work a lot in acting. I said, oh, right. I said, would I have seen you in anything? That classic line. And she said, I used to play Nellie Olson from Little House on the Prairie.
No way!
Yeah. I met some of the most famous people, but that was the most impressive thing to me, that I met Nellie Olson, and she was the boss of looking after me that day. She was doing the PR, so she was doing she obviously worked a different job. She moved from a child actress to that, and she was a lovely girl, and she was working away, but she was Nellie Olson, and Nellie Olson was featured very high in my life when I was young, because Little House on the Prairie used to cry.
Wow.
I know. There you go. So
that is one of my favourite celebrity worthy nows.
Yeah, I know. So, but you know what I'm talking about? It's, you just find yourself in odd situations all the time, and I'm sure you do too. Sometimes you get asked to do kind of bizarre things and suddenly, I never thought I'd be doing this, but
yeah,
what the hell, bring it on.
I think as a comedian that if you become the sort of comedian where they say, "Oh, he'll take a risk."
So you're a bit afraid of that, so you're not
I
going
was
to do
like,
it.
no. The answer is no
Okay.
to that. Thank you very much.
So this show is all about things I never thought I'd do. So what's your first contribution?
Okay, first one. Julie contacted us, and she says, "A thing I never thought I'd do was climb a volcano in Nicaragua." I'm already exhausted. I've no patience for these people that do this stuff. But anyway, I spent all holiday telling the girls I didn't want to get mummified and I just wanted to sit in the shade reading a book. Eventually, the girls ripped out the pages of my books in a 1984 moment to get me to go on the volcano. The whole point is that you slide down on a rubber mat. God almighty. It was a classic example of a landlocked town making the best of it.
Okay.
Coming down the volcano, I came off the mat and sprained my ankle. The whole tour was delayed going home because the girls had to carry me down, so everyone hated me. The moral of the story is don't climb volcanoes.
Okay. I think there's a lot more than that moral
There's
in there.
there's a lot of morals there. This, like people that go, like for example, like skiing, even people that go skiing, I'm like, no,
No, not for me.
not for me.
I don't have the knees for it. I don't care what anybody says.
The knees, I wouldn't have the inclination. Like any holiday where you are like, from the outset, know you're going to be standing up for the majority of it. It's like, that's not a holiday.
No, but you see, I like walking.
No.
I like walking holidays. I like to do, like I do
Yeah,
25 or 30 kilometres a day when I walk.
Oh, with the yeah. You see,
Camino.
I
And I
wouldn't
do all
that.
things like that. But to be fair, I get it. She just wanted to sit in the shade, read her book, and I get that. And I think ripping the pages out is a little bit much. If you had a Kindle, that wouldn't happen. To be fair,
Now, there's a piece of advice.
get a Kindle.
I think as well, I think this is a lesson that you have to be careful who you go on holidays with.
Yeah.
Like the first holiday I went on with my partner, we went to Rome. And it was always one of those places I wanted to visit. And I could not get out of there fast enough.
Why?
Enough was enough. Because, well, for a start, there were a few things. Firstly, there was a transport strike, public transport strike. So we were walking everywhere.
Okay.
Secondly, we went in September and I assumed it would be cold.
Oh no.
Very warm.
Yeah.
Very, very warm.
Okay.
And no shorts available to buy. So I was always...
So there was a transport strike and a short strike.
There was, yeah, you could go and you could buy like a winter coat,
But no
but you
shorts.
couldn't buy shorts.
Okay. But you didn't bring any with you.
I didn't bring any with me.
Okay.
So I was boiling.
Did you not cut the ends of your
Tired.
trousers off? Do they have scissors?
I have very nice jeans.
A bit of Wonderweb?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, look.
Do a photo.
I mean, look, if I had my time again.
You needed your mammy there to get that through that. Go on. So anyway, but you see, I did Rome. I brought my husband to Rome, and we did 4 days there. And I walked the legs off him. He doesn't do as much walking as me.
You see, you're a box ticker with regard to this stuff. I'm just like, don't need the boxes. I need a cafe with a lovely pastry, cup of coffee,
Yeah, no,
and I'll sit there for 3 hours and people watch.
Yeah, but I want that too.
You can't have both, Niamh.
You can have
can't
it all.
both.
I won't believe it.
I'll tell you why you can't have both, because it leads the person that you're going with into a false sense of security that you're going to have a lovely, relaxing holiday, and all of a sudden you like strike out the runners.
No, that's not
and you're
entirely
baiting around
true.
the Vatican.
Not to mention that he always says to me, I got into the cathedral basically because I was under your aura. He reckoned, the security check you go through was looking for Protestants. So you came in under my Catholic aura.
You're so Catholic.
Yeah, so
Catholic enough for the
Catholic.
pair of them.
So I get that. I know what you mean. It's like your type of holiday is not lashing down a volcano. And I'll be honest, if I was walking up the volcano, which is not really on my to-do list, right? But if I was walking up a volcano, the last thing I'd want to do is come down on a rubber mat. That's not.
Yeah,
That's the bit that kind of confuses me. No.
Like if the solution to getting back down is gravity, I'm out.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's okay, Julie. We're totally with you there. So next time, bring a Kindle and maybe be very clear with your friends before you go. That's it. Or maybe just find new friends. I don't know. New friends.
New friends.
Okay. Next, we have Lisa. I'm going to talk about Lisa. So Lisa writes, I hurt my back pretty badly 4 years ago and spent 6 months in bed in my parents' house, waiting to have surgery. I went from someone who never really did anything or went anywhere to someone who was never at home. I suspect spending 6 months at my parents' house in bed would probably do the same to me.
Did that get you out the door?
Oh my God. Not, I love my parents, but yeah.
We all love our parents,
Yes,
Niamh.
yes, we do. To be honest, if my kids were staying at home that length of time, I suspect I'd be out the door. But the thing I did that I never thought I would do is a run amok. Do you know what a run amok is?
Run amok is, it's like a mud obstacle course. It's like you do like a 10K run, but you've got to like jump over walls and wade through mud pits.
Okay,
and-
sorry, you lost me at 10K run, right? I'm running, I don't run anywhere. I did it against my doctor's advice, and then she has kind of a monkey emoji with the eyes over. But I am so glad I did. It's possibly the best thing I have done since having the surgery. Well, now, Lisa, I get that. You know, I get
Yeah.
pushing your boundaries. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Having said that, have you had any more surgery since, or had any requirements for it? Because, you know, I'm also a person who thinks if you've had surgery to fix something, you don't want another 6 months in your parents' house. But I get it. You know, pushing your boundaries is important. I mean, you know, it's good. It's good for you to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
I can tell by your face.
I'm just like, no. 100%. Somebody actually said recently, because I was talking about my gym routine.
You have a gym routine?
I do have a gym routine,
Okay.
yeah, but I don't push my boundaries. And I was saying, like, I've been going to the gym and doing the same thing for years, and nothing has ever changed. And he said, like, well, what like weights do you lift? I was like, 12s. I'm like, I lift 12s. That's
Wow.
And he just kind of looked at me and was like, yeah, you need to be 25s, Gearóid.
Well, I think you look all right.
But thank you, Niamh. But I just think I have an aversion to pushing my boundaries. Like these people that go on, you know, like that, it's like triathlons and stuff. You know, people like, a lot of people do it when they hit 40. They want to do marathons, like to push through the wall, do 26 miles, and then they're like crying with bleeding nipples by the end of it. And I'm just like, no.
Well, the last time I had cried with, you know, bleeding nipples, I had... Okay, let's not conclude that. All I can say is all the mammies out there know what that means. That's not a unique experience. You know, I wouldn't opt for that unless there was some benefit to somebody health-wise.
Don't get me wrong, I really admire people that do that. And some people go on this like...
I'm all for self-improvement. And actually, the biggest problem is most people go, I'm going to run a marathon, instead of saying, I should just walk to work today. You know, it's like, you know,
exactly.
I think
Baby
they go
steps.
too far. I think
I'm just like, I'll do 3 kilometers and then I'll fall down dead.
And then they'll, you know, wreck themselves, and then they can't achieve anything for weeks. You know, I started walking after I had the kids regularly, and now I walk anything between, certainly up to 10K a day. You know, I love walking. I love it. And not because I have to walk the dog. It started with the dog, but you know, but it's because I really enjoy the process, and also I quite often enjoy sitting on the chair afterwards, knowing I've done it, and I don't have to do it again for a while. It's just in my habit. But I didn't start there. I started walking down the end of the road and back. You know?
Like about 4 weeks ago, it was a Sunday evening, and I was convinced I had appendicitis. Like I was convinced. I was like, I'm dying. I'm going to die. That's it. I'm going to have to get an ambulance.
Right.
And I realised the problem was that I had done 10 sit-ups the previous day.
Oh God, sit-ups! Don't forget that. No.
See, that's where self-improvement leads you.
The problem with doing sit-ups is you have to do more.
Yeah. Oh, that is exactly it.
Okay, you know, to be fair, you know, but Lisa, the only thing I would say to you is I really admire you pushing your boundaries. That's really good. And if it makes you feel great, great. But look after yourself. Like the mammy in me is just like really freaking out, like that you might hurt yourself again. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants it.
Nobody.
No.
Just imagine if you hurt yourself again, you're back in that house for 6 months.
You can listen to our wonderful podcast ad-free if you subscribe to Headstuff Plus over on headstuffpodcasts.com.
Next story is Sean, who said, I had
What?
things I thought I'd never do. Bear in mind that that's our topic.
Okay.
And he said, I had sex in a Eurospar disabled toilet.
What? Sean.
Niamh, we need to start doing shout outs on your social media.
Yeah.
Because this is indicative of the sort of tramp that follows me.
There's no guarantee that mine are going
We
to be different.
don't even need to say anything else. We don't even say. Next is Jack,
Okay, Jack.
who also says, I had sex with a colleague in a cupboard at work.
I feel there's like there's some sort of...
I feel like Jack and Sean
Should make-
should be introduced to each other.
I think there's definitely a group, like a self-help group that the two of them could be involved.
I'm glad you clarified.
So, yes, I'm not going to comment on that. I think probably more people have done that than they care to admit.
Totally, I'd say
Or
so. Do you
certainly-
know what, actually? During the week, I went swimming down at the Bull Wall. And there's a toilet there. Like, it's a public toilet. And there was a queue. And I was in the queue. And there was 2 ladies in front of me. And the thing opened. You know those, like, they're like council public toilets? They're like these big
I know
machine
them. I'm always
things.
afraid I'm never going to get out of
Yeah.
them.
And what they do is they wash themselves after everyone's used them.
Yeah.
So they go through like a wash cycle.
Yeah.
And it opened after, like, it was closed for about 20 minutes. And then it opened and 2, like a guy and a girl about 18 years of age, came out of it. And then she went, "Oh wait, my sunglasses are on the floor." And I thought, God almighty, classy. And as soon as she got the sunglasses and walked out, the thing shut and washed itself. And I've just never felt a machine catch the mood of the room the way that machine did.
Oh my God. So, our next letter.
Yes, this is a problem. Somebody has actually...
We love a problem.
Yeah, we love a problem. Someone has
Okay.
actually got in touch with the problem. Do you want to read, or...
Oh, no, you read it out because
All right.
you're so professional.
Oh.
I love the way you read things out.
All right, okay. Dear Niamh and Gearóid,
Mhm.
I am a big fan of both of you, and I think it's hilarious that you both know each other.
Yeah, so do we, actually.
By the way, not the only one there.
And she's already in because she's a big fan. So, happy days.
Yeah, 100%. Niamh, my dad does a great version of In Your Eyes.
Oh.
Well, I'm sure he can do it for Niamh in a TK Maxx sometimes when he sees her.
It's very likely he's
just-
already done it.
Yeah, 100%. Run up. She loves a chorus in
Love it.
public.
Love it.
I don't know if this is the sort of thing you can give me advice on, but at the moment I am asking everyone for help and would take advice from the dog on the street. Oh, you flatter us with one hand.
I'm the Labrador. I want to be very clear. I am the lovely Labrador, and that's it. Go ahead.
I worked for years as a civil servant, and I took a career break to train to do a cooking course in Ballymaloo. In
Oh, wow.
2016, well, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
In 2016, I left my job and I opened my own cafe. It was more difficult than I thought it would be, but I persevered, and after a couple of years, it started to do really well, and I was able to take on 2 girls in the town to work with me part-time. However, then things took a dip and business slowed down. COVID meant that we had to shut our doors for over a year, and now I feel it is unlikely that we will be opening them again. I can blame the pandemic, but in truth, it was limping along before then. I accept that businesses fail all the time, but I did this late in my life and had a lot invested in it emotionally as well as financially. I'm okay about having to do something else, but I'm finding it really difficult to deal with the failure of it. I really thought it would work. I've spoken to friends about it and they don't seem too interested and seem to think I should just get another job. They are very matter of fact about it. I'm very sad about it, but at the same time I can't bear the thoughts of going back to struggling at a time when it has never been more difficult to run a cafe. Am I right to let it go, or should I just try and push through? Thanks in advance, Margaret.
Now, Margaret, we're very light-hearted people, but actually I feel the real strong need to actually approach a couple of things in this now, because it really is important. Margaret, there is no such word of failure if you've given something a good shot. And it doesn't matter, because there's like 20 reasons why it won't work. And when you've made that decision and you do something that you love, it is okay to be realistic. I love the fact that you recognise that it wasn't just COVID that did that. You know, something happened, probably through no fault of your own, because people go through phases with things, you know, and the restaurant business is notoriously difficult. We know that, you know, catering and all that. It's quite difficult, you know. I understand your frustration, because I think people who don't work in this area, they do struggle a little bit with the kind of concept of, you know, wanting to work for yourself and do things.
Yeah. They want to be independent.
Yeah, and you totally understand that. And I think most people think it's easier just to work. You know, I think it's important to understand that if your heart is in it, you want to do it. But there's so many ways you do it. I come across this all the time. People come and speak to me about how do I get famous, and then I have nothing to say to them because I don't understand that question. The thing is, the thing that drives me is not about fame. If it's a byproduct, that's fine. But for me, it's about how do I get to sing? How do I get to do what I do? How do I get to do what I love? That's a different conversation. And so for me, I think if you're going to do something, it has to come from your heart, but it also has to be practical. Feed the family, feed the soul. The balance is always important. So there is probably a way that you can do what you love. And if you went to Ballymaloe, you really care about it. And if you did well in Ballymaloe, you did well. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah.
You know,
She sounds like she knows what she's doing.
plus, you made it successful for quite a period of time. And there's so many reasons why things don't go the way you think it's going to go.
Yeah.
But, you know, if I look at my life, I don't know about you, Gearóid, but I look at my life so many times. After the Commitments, they told me that was my big shot. After Eurovision, they thought it was my big shot. When I went to Nashville, it was my big shot. I'm here now in my 50s and I'm still thinking about what exciting thing I can do next. It's always about moving forward. It's not about, you know, one big thing. What I'm saying to you is, if you really care about this, think about the practical elements. There's no shame in going and working and figuring out what your next step is. There is absolutely no shame in that. You know, you can still find ways to cater. You can still find ways to cook. You know, the industry is very difficult. So unless you're really, really driven, perhaps find a way to do it in your spare time and really enjoy it as a thing.
Yeah, I think what's happening here is she says that she did it late in life. So it kind of feels like she thinks she's made a bad choice.
Yeah.
But I think there's two different types of people. There's people that I think everybody knows their dream job. And there's people that are happy to pursue their dream job at a cost.
Yeah.
And then there are people that are like, no, I'm never going after the dream job because it's ridiculous, because there's all of these reasons why it wouldn't work out. And those people are content to do just something else. So Margaret, you're one of those people that feels they have to chip away at it, because like you did Ballymaloe, you know, you were always chipping away at this.
Yeah.
So then you had no choice, really. There was no choice there. You had to go and pursue it. And you didn't leave your job to make something a success. That wasn't your objective. Like, your objective was to go and to try this.
Yeah.
And you did it.
And actually, so you have totally succeeded, you know.
Yes,
and you've totally
100%.
succeeded.
You've actually done what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I think what's really important in when you do something like that,
Yeah.
is that you know when to fold.
Yeah, actually.
Like, it's actually, like, I remember years ago I read this book on comedy, and it said the first thing you do is you write a letter to yourself and you say when you're going to quit. And I thought, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But actually, I think that's really good advice, because there comes a point where you go, like, are you supposed to break your heart with a business that's not really working just because you made a big choice to do it a few years ago? Like, just because you did that shouldn't mean that you're going to pay for it for the rest of your life. If you've decided it's not working,
no,
it's time to fold.
When I started in this industry, I never thought that was going to be my job. You know,
Yeah.
and over the years, I stop and think about what I'm going to do for the next wee while. And I write to myself every year. I write a letter about what I've done, what I'd like to do. This year's a bit involved, but anyway. But, you know, I do that. I sit down and then I go away and I do my year. And then I come back and look at that letter. Because sometimes you forget to actually start from a positive place. I think too many people are coming from negative. You know, I always say 2 stars and a wish. Somebody told me that. Some primary school teacher told me that. And I think it's a fantastic idea. You use it with kids, that's fair enough. Say 2 good things that you've done and then think of one thing that you'd like to do better. Rather than going, that was not what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
It's very hard. It's really, really hard. So I think, Margaret, you've done a fantastic job. I think that your friends, maybe you're looking at the way your friends are not interested. Maybe you become quite focused on it because you're looking at it from the negative side. I think you need to decide how you feel about it.
Yeah, and also the thing about it is, sometimes if you're the friend, you know, like if you're in a group and you're the one that makes the big change late in life, that can sometimes like
push it out of that group a bit.
Yeah, it pushes you away
Yeah.
a little bit, just in that those people think, oh, well, maybe I should make a big change. Maybe I should.
Puts them under
And it
pressure.
kind of pushes them under pressure a little bit. So not in a selfish way, but in a way that's just a bit weird. They could kind of feel like, oh God, that's kind of relief now because it didn't work for her. Then maybe I'm right to not pursue my
Yeah,
thing.
I'm not sure about that, but I get that. I get what you're saying, what you're kind of going towards. But for me, I think sometimes experiences bring you into different orbits, and so in a way, they can't really relate to what you've done. Maybe, you know, so that's difficult for them to give you advice. So my feeling is, when I do something, I decide how I feel about it. It's not that I don't talk to other people or I get other aspects, but I have to decide. And if I decide I'm happy with what I've done or I've come to terms with it, then I can do anything. right? If because I don't have to justify it then. You
Yeah.
understand? And I think there is that element. You really do. You do fear it, I think, and that's not good. So, I mean, Margaret, I have to say, I am so proud of you for going after what you need to do. That's really, really, really important for all of us to do. All of us.
Oh, it's so important. And the other thing that might be a bit telling about this, I just realised, just looking at the letter again, she never says anywhere that she loves it.
No, she didn't actually.
She didn't say that she, you haven't said how you actually feel about it. So, if you want to push through, push through. But if you feel in your heart of hearts that it's done and that the only thing that's keeping you in it is because you did it in the first place, well, then it's...
Yeah. I think what keeps me in it is because I love to sing. But actually, the truth is, I don't have to be in the industry to do that.
Yeah.
And so you could still cook. You can still do the things you love about it.
And do you know what the other thing about this is? It's very naive to think, and we all have this, that because you want to follow the thing that is your passion, that all you need is the passion.
Yeah. No, true.
It's not. Like,
no.
The best singers in the world, the best comedians, the ones that you know about are the ones that are also really good at the marketing. They're also really good at the branding, all of that stuff. And all of that is as important as the passion. And sometimes if you're a passionate person, that stuff can be just absolute toxic to you. Like, just because you're an amazing cook and you're brilliant at what you do doesn't mean that you are going to be good at running a business, because that's a different ballgame.
And, the truth is, this is about people pushing their boundaries and trying out things. You could have spent your whole life wondering if I'd only done that. And now you've done it. And it doesn't matter the outcome. You've done it and you've done it well.
Don't be shy about saying you don't think it's working.
Yeah.
Because if you decide you're giving up, say to people, it's not working, because if it worked, it would be working.
Yeah.
So, and you never know who might come up with an idea, or who, like, maybe one of your friends that maybe you think might be slightly jealous of you, maybe they're brilliant at this sort of stuff. Maybe they know exactly what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Because you would be surprised. So many people close to you might actually know the thing that's wrong with your business.
Yeah. And maybe the reason that you feel that they're not being as understanding is because you're not ready to hear it. So there's that element.
100%.
Gearóid and I sometimes say things to each other in a very polite way, and sometimes not so polite.
Sometimes it's blunt.
but you sometimes need it. But actually inside you already know. You already know, Margaret.
You do.
And the thing is, sometimes you have to give yourself permission to, and by saying, I did it well. Maybe this didn't work out, but sometimes that's just the way it is. And if I was to stop every time that happened to me in this industry, I swear to God, I would not be singing. I'd be probably back in the bank,
Yeah.
The thing is, you make the decision all the time. And in my 50s, I'm still thinking about what I'm going to do next, And so I don't think you should see this as an end. You should see this as, am I going to move forward? How am I going to move forward? And more importantly, what's good for me? And I think you already know, Margaret.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The power is in you, Margaret.
Oh, I love that.
And also, Margaret, burn it for the insurance. You have to start somewhere else. You're going to need capital. We have one more.
Oh,
we
my
have
goodness.
one more that came in late.
Okay.
So, we just do it before we go because it was an interesting one. And again, it's another reason that we need to start using your social media rather than mine.
Okay.
Because this is specific.
Okay.
Things I never thought I'd do. Call me Peter, not my real name. Went back to a guy's place, one night stand. Used the jacks the next morning and I blocked his toilet. The toilet brush wouldn't unblock it. And I had no other option but to punch the blockage free. I rolled up my sleeves and reached into the now almost overflowing toilet. Fortunately, a sensible 4 or 5 punches managed to block... Dear God almighty. Managed to free the blockage. Then I washed my hands and went out to have a gorgeous breakfast on his balcony. There was no second date. And then he said, wait, not Peter. Give me a gender neutral name like Kyle or Morgan.
Okay, Kyle, Morgan, Peter. This feels like a whole other
First time
show.
in 27 years, Niamh Kavanagh doesn't have something to say.
That feels like a whole other show.
Never thought I'd see the day.
Do you
Do you know what I admire? The ingenuity.
Yes. You know, we've all done things out of pure necessity. Like the time I stayed somewhere and somebody had sprayed bloody fake tan on me, which I don't do, right? But they'd put fake tan and the sheets were covered. And you're thinking, what are these people going to think of it? I wanted to bring them home to wash. I'm like that in hotels. I can't cope. I clean the room before I leave, right? I can't have them even fine. And all the stuff is in the bin. And I think about what goes in the bin because I don't want anybody to think. And nobody cares what's in the bin.
What upsets me is that he says he washed his hands.
Well,
What about your arms?
Gearóid, you're harsh. Where does your head go? Listen,
I mean, he went back out to that guy's balcony to eat croissants.
I know.
And
Okay.
he's actually a catch.
Okay, is
Quite
he?
good looking. Apparently, and the Eurovision link is, he met the guy while sitting at the bar in the George watching the Eurovision semi-final in 2014,
Okay. So not recently then.
but still scarred by it. Thanks for listening.
Yes, and thank you so much. Please, 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 please send in any stories you have on any topic you'd like to hear us talk about.
Or if you want advice. I mean, I'm not
Yes.
sure. I think we've really helped Margaret.
I know Margaret will have a new life after this, and
Yeah.
Margaret, we will expect you
And a massive cash injection if things go well.
and stop
If she's
with the
properly
insurance fraud.
insured.
Stop with the insurance fraud. No, but seriously, if you have anything to tell us, please come on to agonyrants@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. So listen, thank you so much for listening. I hope to see you again very soon. And Gearóid and I just want you to subscribe to us, leave nice
Yes,
reviews.
leave nice reviews on iTunes. That will help other people find us.
Because then we will keep doing it, and you know, then I won't. Maybe.
Yeah, if it doesn't take off, I'm out in 4 weeks.
Well, listen, look after yourselves, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you.
Bye.
This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with Head Stuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.